What's the 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday, April 29th, 2015. It is 69 degrees here at the studios at The Source, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall, just outside the WOCA commissary. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Larry.
How are you?
Good. How are you this morning?
Are we still running? We do have the Energizer buddy batteries in us?
Yeah, we never stop because we always are in demand for a lot of stuff.
It feels like we're just never stopping.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, Robin. And I don't want to stop. I'm fine. I'm fine with the express train approach to life. All right, we got some good things that we want to talk about. 7:35. There was a couple things in the news. I guess the one thing would be that the House of Representatives up in Tallahassee decided to go home. So we'll talk about that, and what are your thoughts on it? Yesterday, a good friend of ours and of the station, Avelio Severo, was at the Kiss the Horse event, and I don't really know what he does up in Tallahassee. I know he works with our big shots up there.
Yes, he does.
And he himself is absolutely, in the years I've known him, has been grooming himself, or is, to be an elected official.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he'd be a fine one. But anyway, he works for them, and I guess he came down to do the Kiss the Horse thing last night. Then he got the text message or the phone call, or whatever, that says, "Well, we're going home." So now he's got to go up there and because he lives here, he and his wife. So I guess they have to get their clothing out of because they rent an apartment for the month that the legislative session is in session.
Exactly. I think he works for Charlie Stone, doesn't he?
Is that right? See, I'm not really sure,
so.
But anyway, and his wife works for Dennis?
Yes.
Dennis Baxley? All right, well, anyway, so the House of Representatives, that's kind of small talk, what we were just doing, but the bigger story that we can all kind of engage in the conversation about is the House deciding to come back. I mean, did they do the right thing, or were they being childish? What do you think? So we'll talk about that at 7:35.
Yeah.
Paul Navarro at 8:20. Our segment with Galen again this morning is being cut short a little bit. Paul Navarro is a professional engineer and the president of something called Navarro and Wright Consulting. He wants to talk about his campaign to urge the United States government, the federal government, to reform the federal renewable fuel standard. I'm going to pretend I know what that is, but we'll find out for sure at 8:20. Deal?
Deal.
8:35, that's when we turn off our opinion and simply read the news. We get the news from the different news agencies that we subscribe to here at The Source, WOCA, and we don't offer any opinion. Trying to do two things at once here. David T. Tusher is an orthopedic surgeon. He is coming on to talk to us about the symptoms of sports-related injuries in children, the best steps to prevent injuries, etc. 9:20, Dr. Justin Sonnenberg is coming on. He's an assistant professor in the Department of Microbiology. He's going to talk about ways to take control of your weight, your mood, and your long-term health. He has got a book that outlines all of that stuff. It's called The Good Gut. The Good Gut.
I love that. Straight and to the point. There's no pussyfooting around, Just, let us know what's going on.
Steve Berry at 9:35. He is an historian. He has a book called The Patriot Threat. He's a co-founder of History Matters, which is a foundation dedicated to historic preservation. So I thought it would be an interesting conversation in addition to the book. The book is actually a novel, but it is his background that indicated to me that he'd be a good guest for a 25-minute slot. So that's what he's occupying.
Yeah, last time he was in St. Augustine when we spoke to him. He's such a nice guy.
Oh, yeah, he's a very, very well-known author.
Very
He's
nice
one of
guy.
those big authors. He's like the Dean Kuntzes and whatever.
Exactly. He's a celebrity.
Erica Spiegelman.
Rock star.
Erica Spiegelman at 10:05 is an addiction counselor, and she wants to talk to us about an approach to addiction and recovery that maybe hasn't been looked at before. She's got a book that outlines that. It's called Rewired. Legally Yours at 10:35. We've got a busy morning. John Fuller is the host of that segment. He is an attorney here in Ocala at the law firm of Fuller & Fuller, and your questions are part of the show. So be sure to call in with your legal questions. Maybe you're in an accident and you feel like you're being rolled over the barrel, whatever they say. The barrel. Got the beer barrel poking
Roll
in my
out
head.
the barrel.
Anyway, you're being dragged across the coals, whatever the metaphor is there.
Have a beer and a pretzel, you'll be fine. Get some oompa in your life.
Dr. Peter L. Stavinoha is a psychologist, and he's coming on 11:05 to talk about a way to live your life stress-free.
Yep, his book.
Stress-free. Anthony James. Gosh, what a busy morning. Anthony James, the voice of travel. He's our travel expert, a good friend, and he'll be in the studio to talk to us about traveling. I liked last week when he talked about the Amtrak thing, because that's on my bucket list right now. I'm such a dork when it comes to I keep looking at videos on YouTube of people who've taken the train. Isn't that dorky? I look at myself, I can tell I'm old, because I just look old now, so... I do. I can see it. I can see it in me.
Yeah, you do look old.
But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool being here, being now. I'm embracing it. And I'm just thinking, yeah, old guy should be on a train. Shouldn't be driving I-95 anymore. Fun with Joe. Oh gosh, I have something I think you're going to like. I have the intros to songs from the 1980s, hits from the 1980s.
Oh, cool.
Oh my goodness! So when I heard these, they were all a flashback. Well, a good 90% of them were flashbacks. Some of them I didn't even remember, so I'll be honest about that. But for the most part, I think you and Joe will remember these very well, and you'll hopefully have rack your brain to figure out what songs they are. And they're not all instrumental intros. Some of them are vocal intros.
Oh wow, nice.
And you'll know what I mean when you hear them.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of music from the 80s, if you were around in the 80s, then these will be flashback moments for you.
Like Eli's Coming, that's a vocal intro. No okay. Instruments,
but
no
anything. I think that goes back to the 60s, that one.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just giving you an example as to I know what a vocal intro is.
Right.
I like that one always. Eli's Coming.
Eli's Coming. Yeah. And Galen's segment. Now, yesterday we kind of got distracted by the news coming out of Baltimore, and so we stuck on that. And who knows what will happen in Galen's segment today. I had yesterday a topic, and I'm going to bring it up again today, although I don't think Galen knew what we were going to talk about. It's places in Florida where the road stops. These are towns here in Florida. Yankeetown is one of them. Key West is another one. But just the road stops, and there is the water. And some of these towns become destinations for people for that very reason. And for that very reason, there are restaurants at the end of these roads. So these are the end-of-the-road towns in Florida. I don't remember. There's like a dozen or so of them that are actually tourist places. But it is the tourist who thinks outside the box. I'm sorry I used that cliche. Everybody seems to be tired of that one, but I couldn't think of a better one just now, real quickly. But the tourist who says, I'm going to Florida. You know what? I did Disney last time. I did Universal. It's great. I did Busch Gardens. I want to see something in Florida that I've never seen before. And then they find these end-of-the-road towns, and you've been to some of them. I know you've been to Yankeetown. I know you've been to Key West. But there are some others out there, so we'll talk about the end-of-the-road towns here in Florida.
Nice. Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
And I don't have all my notes here because I got kind of cut off there. But anyway, so anything in the news I need to really, really talk about? School. Oh, school.
Yeah, that's an issue.
You need to know, if you have children in school, that school starts a week earlier in Marion County.
Yep.
What did I do with that? Kevin Christian sent us a notice.
August 17th, you said that they're starting.
Thank you.
Except, before it was August 24th, and now you said that they moved it up to August 17th. Well, and I don't know. I just think it's crazy.
Well, that was the decision. And then they're going to make it, I think, even earlier in 2016. But then you have time to prepare for it. I think the thing that I thought when I saw the news is that, well, it's all fine and well. I mean, from my position, because it doesn't affect me at all. But what if I had a vacation? What if I was taking the kids out, to like the Grand Canyon or something? And okay, we're going to come back that week.
Exactly.
Oh, are you looking for my headlines?
No. I was just getting my stuff.
Oh, you have your stuff in my
out
stuff?
Of there, yeah.
See, this is what happens. We share the print.
There you go.
Is that my headlines? No. So anyway, I don't have my headlines in front of me. I don't know what I did with them. But anyway, that's the gist of it. And I'm glad you remembered the dates.
Yeah, because I heard your news this morning, and I just couldn't understand why they keep moving it up and moving it up. It all has to do with those tests, I think, and then it all has to do with government money coming into the school system from the federal government. I think that's the only reason.
Okay, that's happening. But my thinking is, whatever the reason is.
I mean, they're cutting down on family time.
Whatever the reason is, to spring it on the families To me.
Yeah.
And this is not Kevin's doing, by the way. Kevin is
no.
reporting what the school board decided to do.
Exactly.
So they decided to start it a week earlier. I know they got the authorization from Tallahassee. We had that story last week. I understand that.
Right.
But again, you're springing it on them now. I mean, it's April 29th. I mean, some people have their vacation plans already in place.
Exactly.
Now, if they don't, then or if they can move them, that's okay. Then I guess everything's fine. But anyway,
If they can't, I take my child on vacation. I'll just have to start late. I just think that's the most ridiculous thing. That's
all right,
early.
we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. I also want to give you an update on what happened last night at the Kiss the Horse event. It was splendid. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Rappaport. A much quieter night in Baltimore after riots and looting plagued the city Monday. Police Commissioner Anthony
In
Batts.
totality in the city, after our curfew went up, we've had about 10 total arrests. I get reports from the organization that we do not have a lot of activity or movement throughout the city as a whole, so the curfew is, in fact, working.
That curfew now lifted for the day. The Supreme Court hearing arguments to settle the gay marriage debate once and for all.
You're not seeking to join the institution. You're seeking to change what the institution is.
Chief Justice John Roberts voicing concern over redefining an understanding of marriage that has withstood millennia. Arguments briefly interrupted after a man began shouting about an abomination.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. UFC light heavyweight champion John Jones stripped of his title and suspended following his arrest in New Mexico for a hit and run. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Fox News on your time. The Fox News iPad app is ready to go with all the great features from foxnews.com and our iPhone app optimized specifically for your iPad. Watch the latest clips from your favorite Fox News shows. Personalize the app by creating your own newscast using the video playlist. Listen to Fox News Radio live. Get local weather forecasts. And it's all free. Go to foxnews2go.mobi. That's foxnews2go.mobi.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Looking for that spot to try some real Cuban food? Head on over to Mama V's Cuban Cafe. With home-cooked food just like Abuela used to make it. Mama V's is the #1 authentic Cuban cuisine. Centrally located on Highway 200 in Ocala. Best Cuban sandwich, steak, black beans and rice, and yummy sweet plantains. Tres leche and flan for dessert. Mama V's is open Monday through Friday, 10 to 7, Saturday, 10 to 9. Sandwich combos include side and drink for $7.95. And you've got to try Mama V's Tropical Shakes. 622-1727. Mama V's Cuban Cafe.
Kenny's Place Nursery offers horticulture training for the mentally handicapped, and that makes them beautiful people in my book. And those beautiful people have some beautiful plants and flowers on sale, like annuals in 4-inch pots for only $1 each. A 3-gallon bottle brush plant for only $8. Confederate jasmine, 3 gallons for $8. How about azaleas, 1 gallon for only $4.25. And a 2-gallon pot of knockout roses for only $17. Call 352-867-1213 for Kenny's Place Nursery.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Chip, what are the 2 most important reasons people buy from Ford Lincoln of Ocala in Village Ford of Bellevue?
Easy. They've shopped everywhere else and found out that we have the selection and the price that can't be beat.
Exactly. People buy from us because they know when it comes to new Fords, no one comes close to our huge inventory of every model, equipment package, and color Ford has to offer.
And when it comes to price, Ford Lincoln of Ocala or Village Ford of Bellevue is unbeatable. Backed by our low price guarantee in writing.
We invite you to visit our websites at fordofocala.com or myvillageford.com. View our complete inventory of new and certified pre-owned Fords. Then check out the long list of positive reviews from our customers who have purchased or had their vehicles serviced with us.
Although selection and price are important, you also receive the benefits of a courteous factory-trained certified staff that just makes doing business with Ford Lincoln of Ocala or Village Ford of Bellevue a real joy.
Come in for the selection.
Come in for the price.
Come to Ford Lincoln of Ocala or Village Ford of Bellevue, your family of Ford dealerships where we've got what it takes.
Wow, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Who did this?
P&P Tikis and more, of course. Now I have a tiki hut for shade, and I can enjoy the sounds of my cascading fountain while feeding my koi fish in my own pond. They even fixed my fence and redid all my landscaping. Nice to see a professional, reliable, family-owned business. Yes, P&P Tikis is the natural Florida tiki builder and water features designer. With free estimates, P&P Tikis is licensed and insured. Call 352-877-3307 for your very own tiki hut and more. That's 352-877-3307. P&P Tikis.
All right, thank you. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. It looks like a nice day today. Let's see, 69 degrees right now. There is rain in the forecast, thunderstorms in the forecast, actually.
Oh.
High temperatures climbing to the mid-80s. Lows tonight around 62. Tomorrow in the lower 80s. A little bit of a cooling trend, it looks like. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Don't forget, Friday is the first Friday of the month.
Yep.
And it's the last Friday of the first Friday events for this year.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So go downtown, have fun with that thing. We have fun with it. We'll be a little bit closer to the action this Friday.
Yeah, we will.
In the past, we've been on the other side of the universe, but
yeah, we have.
this year they've invited us into the solar system. So
yeah.
I mean, this week, whatever. All right. So you found my headlines. Thank you. So let me read the thing that I got from the schools from Kevin Christian.
Okay.
Let's see. Marion County Public Schools is reporting that by a 3-2 vote, 3-2, two of them didn't want this, three of them did, the Marion County School Board changed the school calendar for 2015-2016, which begins in August. It had been set for August 24th, as you mentioned. Thank you for your memory. August 17th is now when it starts. So if you have school-aged children that go to public schools, I don't know that the private schools follow these schedules or not, but anyway, August 17th is the new beginning date, and that's not for just the students, of course. It's for the teachers and the other employees as well.
Oh, yeah, so that means the students will start a week before that, so they'll start like August the 10th.
You mean the teachers?
The teachers, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the teachers will start like August the 10th.
Well, that's a good point, too.
Gosh, they're not going to have any kind of a summer.
Yeah, well, I know. Well, that was kind of my point. I just hope there's 42,000 students, so somewhere in those 42,000, there's a family or two you can imagine that has plans for the very end of what was the summer for them, and now now they have to wrap it up sooner. I remember when I was a kid, my dad's vacation it was not like the school year changed in my case. I remember my dad's vacation just couldn't happen when he wanted it to happen. And so my parents kept us out of school for the first 4 days of school or something like that.
Yeah, my parents did too during Easter break or in the beginning, and we started after Labor Day.
Let's see. There is a ribbon cutting today at noon at DeVita Kidney Care here in Ocala. Of course, it's in Ocala. Head south on State Road 200. 103rd Street Road is the first left, just past Big Lots. Mm-hmm. Take the second driveway on the left.
Yep.
And the building is in that parking lot labeled DeVita Home Dialysis.
Yeah, that building's been there a long time. It's been empty.
It faces 103rd Street Road.
Yep, and there's a big clock on the top, so you won't miss it.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's been there for like 5 years, and it's finally occupied.
So they're having the ribbon cutting, and ribbon cuttings are an important part of a business, whether it's a new business or they've introduced a new item or a new service. Ribbon cuttings are a great way to introduce that to the community, and the community is invited to these ribbon cuttings. Sometimes they have food and beverages at the events, but this one doesn't say that. I don't want to tell you that. But anyway, so if you want to congratulate them and go down there, it'll be at noon today. Mm-hmm. The Chamber and Economic Partnership has teamed up with WOCA, the source, so that we can announce this on their behalf.
Yep.
Which is why I'm reading it right now. There's another one today at 4:30 this afternoon. This ribbon cutting is at a company called Family Foot and Ankle. And this is in the South Pine Medical Park, located at 2825 Southeast 3rd Court. That's at 4:30 this afternoon. Mm-hmm. Dr. Sheila Nuruzi and Dr. Giotha Amin are the two doctors there, so go down there.
They're probably really nice people.
I would assume they are.
Yeah.
But anyway, isn't it interesting? One of the ribbon cuttings is near where you live, and the other one is near where I live.
Yeah, isn't that something?
There you go.
Wow.
We can walk out the door and, hey, congratulations. Anyway, yeah.
Wow. Isn't that something?
All right, so before we talk about the Florida House of Representatives saying, let's go home. This is, this is going nowhere.
Yeah, I got things to do.
I gotta
I'm
go
tired
home.
of working.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Let's go home.
Got things to do.
Poor Vilio. I felt bad for him and Lori.
Oh, yeah.
They were
Yeah.
had the rug pulled out from under them. But okay, so we'll do that in just a second. First, I just want to tell you about last night. Oh, yesterday. Can I brag a little bit about yesterday? We went to our afternoon was the following. We went to an assisted living facility, and we played music for the folks in there, and we tried to focus on polkas. And then we do accordion and mandolin, so it all sounds like polkas, but it's not. So the Italian songs and the French songs are really lovely songs.
Yes.
They really are. And the polkas are really kind of, it's a different animal. A polka is a different animal. And of course, so we had this idea to go get some pretzels. So we did. We got 20 pretzels. Big, I mean big.
From the bowling alley.
Big fat pretzels.
They got the best pretzels.
And
I
so,
won't say the name.
And so try to do the right thing. Anyway, so we brought him 20 pretzels, and it was just such a wonderful thing. I mean, pretzels are just a little token of something, But it was just so. I mean, it was just so cool. We were playing polkas, and they were eating pretzels, and I don't know. You can't do a whole lot for somebody at the end of their life. They're. I don't know if you're listening. Sorry. But it's just like, what do you do for people? You try to do, so you can only do so much, so you do that little tidbit and it makes you feel good. That's all. It was fun to play the polkas too.
Yeah.
Although I have a real tendency to rush. I just play too fast. You do too. But.
I know, I do too. I start to fly.
Like I need a metronome. I need a drummer who can keep me in line. And then after that we went and got a bite to eat. But then after that we went to Ocala Breeder Sales, which was the location for the Marion County Literacy Council Kiss the Horse event, which is one of their flagship events, I guess you can call it, to raise money for the Literacy Council. Long story short, they raised $27,000.
Yep.
A big, almost 50% of that came from one lady, Manal Fakori.
Yep.
Her donation was like 10,000 something, which was outstanding.
Yeah, she raised the most amount of money.
Right, and second place was Bobby Genovese and his company, and then third place was the beautiful, sweet Madeline Rousseau, who we had in the studio, who we got to meet. I guess we can call her a friend now. It's just so sweet. We were rooting for her. No offense to the two rich folks that won first and second place.
Right.
But Madeline is she lives in a modest home, and she had a party in her backyard, and she raised a couple $1,000s, which was outstanding.
Yes.
And then you and I were honored. We got this. What was the High Spirited Award or something?
Yep. The cheerleader award.
Some kind of a cheerleader.
Yep. Yeah, it's on Joe's desk.
Oh, cool. Joe gets it. But
the Team Spirit Award is what they call it.
But that was nice. Yeah. I like the fact that they recognized. And it wasn't just us. I mean, the other people who participated also. I mean, they were asked to stand at the front, and everybody was recognized. It was really nice.
Yeah, they were all the teams were named. All the people went to the front. There were trophies for first, second, and third place, and the Team Spirit Award. It was so well done this year. It was just absolutely outstanding. Everybody was recognized. It wasn't just the block. Everybody was recognized, and that was just so incredible to see all those faces up there. Everybody gave over 100%.
So anyway, and we met the folks from Simply British.
Oh yes,
Simply British. It's a finishing school. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm not finished yet. Maybe I need to go back to school. I don't know what a finishing school teaches, but they were lovely ladies.
And fellow.
I saw the fellow.
He told us about the shortcut.
He did. I saw the fellow. But see, the ladies were lovely. See, you have to think the way I think.
That's right.
I mean, why would I want to go to a finishing school? Because I met a lovely fellow. I might consider a finishing school because there were lovely ladies there.
Yes.
Because I might not be finished. There might be more for me to do.
That's right. They can help.
See, this is a good thing if you're feeling old.
Uh-huh.
Look in your drawer. Do you have a finishing school diploma? Probably not. If you don't, then you're probably not finished. If you're not finished, then you're not that old.
That's right.
You might as well go back to school. At least feel like, hey, I'm not finished yet.
Exactly.
The best thing you could ever do. What happened?
He scared me. Joe peeked around the
best
corner.
thing you could ever do is to fail finishing school.
Yeah.
Because then you're not finished.
That's right.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. Sorry. I carried on way too long with that.
Those ladies were gorgeous, though.
Yeah, they were real pretty.
And they spoke British.
I know. Well, that's it. I'm going to go meet Paul McCartney and speak in his dialect. All right. We'll take a little break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Florida legislature quitting early. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Clouds and breaks of sunshine today and breezy with a couple of showers and a heavier thunderstorm moving through the area. The high 83 to 87. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight with lows in the mid-60s. For tomorrow, clouds and some intervals of sunshine and a bit cooler, high 78 to 82. For Friday, mostly sunny, breezy and pleasant, the high 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
This weather brought to you by A&A Lockdock. Did you know that most break-ins happen during bad weather because it masks the sound? Don't be another victim. Protect your home and business today. Call A&A Lockdock, 352-867-1965. That's 352-867-1965. Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Looking for a super buy on summer vegetables? Well, you just got them. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens has a fresh new supply of veggies for your summer garden at the year's lowest prices. Get peppers, lettuce, celery, corn, eggplant, cucumbers, squash, and others in jumbo 4-packs for just $1.99. That's $1 below the regular price. Tomatoes, just 99 cents. Now beat that. Check the ad this week for super buys on ground cover. All kinds of jasmine and ivy, all beautiful, and the aroma is fantastic, starting at $2.99. Mix or match citrus trees, lemon, lime, orange, tangerine. Now get this, get 3 for $99. Not a misprint, 3 for $99. Pine straw, the world's best mulch. Bob Wines has it just $4.49 when you buy 10 bales or more. And those Duke DeRone azaleas, still $2.99. Bob Wines has them. The Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. Don't miss this sale.
WOCA AM 1370.
96.3. 96.3
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
This weather brought to you by A&A Lockdock. Did you know that most break-ins happen during bad weather because it masks the sound? Don't be another victim. Protect your home and business today. Call A&A Lockdock, 352-867-1965. That's 352-867-1965. Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 11 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Looks like a nice day. I guess we got some rain in the forecast, and nobody's complaining about that, I guess, right? Unless you had something you wanted to do today. Then you're complaining about it.
Yeah.
No, nobody I know. All right, so what is being complained about, however, is that the Florida legislature, the House of Representatives, quit early. And it's because of an impasse between the House and the Senate over Medicaid expansion. So let's look at this. And I want you to pay attention to the way this is written. Not that I need to tell you anything. I know you guys are smart. So it's just a talking thing to say. It's not like I'm really pointing it out because I already know you know this. But it's the way articles are sometimes written and slanted. Although it's supposed to be journalism, it really is commentary. It is the way journalism is today. Mm-hmm. Journalism is very, very much commentary these days. Anyway, so just to underscore what I'm trying to say, I'm getting this from NPR. Okay. It's just, I think you understand. I think you know where I'm saying that. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean they don't have the facts right. It just means that there will be adjectives in here and a tone to this that you will recognize as being, something you would expect from NPR, right, Joe? All right. What's the matter? He's here early. You're early today, Joe. What happened? They kicked you out of the meeting? Wasn't that the meeting day?
Yeah, it was the meeting today.
All right. The Republican-controlled Florida legislature. You see how they start?
That's exactly.
They start right away.
Exactly.
The Republican, at odds over the question of whether to expand Medicaid, abruptly ended its session 3 days early yesterday, leaving hundreds of bills that are unrelated to health care unfinished. That's the first paragraph. Mm-hmm. Andy Gardner, the president of the Senate, Florida's state Senate, says he's disappointed with the House's decision to stop negotiating and leave town. The House didn't win, the Senate didn't win, and the taxpayers lost, is a statement from Gardner. He's also quoted as saying there are a lot of issues that aren't going to make it, and it's unfortunate. All right, ignore the slant, ignore the flavor, and what of this do you want to comment on? I mean, did they really do a stupid thing by deciding to leave town? I think they did.
Yes, I think
so. They did. Now, that doesn't mean I disagree with their reasons for doing it. I just think it was stupid to do it.
Yeah, they get paid.
You don't walk out. You don't walk out. You don't walk out.
No.
But Steve Crisafulli, the Speaker of the Florida House, says it was the right thing to do, so he might disagree with our opinion, Robin.
No, his last name.
He said... What?
His last name.
Oh, you know him?
No. It was a Foolie.
No, that wasn't nice. All right,
okay.
Here we go. He says we've made... Yeah, try to do the right thing. We've made every effort, he says, we can to negotiate with the Senate on a budget. And at this time, they're standing strong on Medicaid expansion. Well, keep in mind that that's what... Look, if you disagree with somebody and they're standing strong on something, then you stand strong too. You have to. How come we don't have? Who was the person from history who made the statement about understanding the benefits of compromise? Was it Benjamin Franklin? I can't remember what it was.
Sounds like something he might say.
Rush Limbaugh has this attitude that compromise is a weak backbone.
Oh.
He doesn't like compromise. I think compromise is sometimes the best way to fix a problem. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about just a husband and wife sometimes. I mean, sometimes the impasse that they have.
Yes.
You want to walk out,
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Of course, you could blame it on the Senate. You could say, well, they're the ones who need to compromise too. That's a good argument. But you need somebody up there, somebody who has the persuasive skills to make sense to both sides to let each one figure out that you got to give in a little bit.
You need a mediator between the
Well,
two.
we elected a mediator. Every single one of those people is supposed to be skilled in that way. But you know what we do as voters? We don't really look at that when we're voting for them. Anyway, shortly after the adjournment, Governor Rick Scott filed a lawsuit against the federal government over health care funding, and we saw this coming a couple weeks ago. It's not really connected to the House of Representatives deciding to go home, but it is kind of a piece of the puzzle that will affect you or I in one way or another. That move was promptly derided by the leadership of the state Senate, who obviously don't agree with the governor. The chairman of Florida's Senate Appropriations Committee, Tom Lee, is quoted as saying, "I don't think it changes anything. Once he announced he was going to file a lawsuit against the federal government, I think everyone sort of shut down and lawyered up and all that sort of thing," unquote.
Oh.
So here's a brief overview of the fight, and this is the part of the article from NPR that I thought was the most useful. The Republican-led state house is firmly against Medicaid expansion. That's you understood that before even I read that. While the Republican-led Senate supports it. Scott once supported expansion but is now against it, and the federal government raised the stakes of the battle by refusing to negotiate on the renewal of a $2 billion fund called the Low Income Pool, which reimburses hospitals for unpaid bills.
Mm-hmm.
The pool money was about helping low-income people have access to health care. U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Sylvia Burwell told Northern Florida's WFSU in January, quote, "I think we believe an important way to extend that coverage to low-income individuals is what passed in the Affordable Care Act, the issue of Medicaid expansion." The governor's lawsuit over the low-income pool accuses the federal government of trying to coerce the state, requiring Florida to expand Medicaid or lose $2 billion. And that's why he's suing the federal government. That sort of pressure was expressly forbidden by the Supreme Court of the United States when it upheld the federal health law in 2012.
Yeah, this is a good thing.
The House Appropriations Chief Richard Corcoran recently delivered a 20-minute anti-Medicaid speech to fellow lawmakers that underscored his side's determination to block the expansion. And he said to the Senate, here's my message to the Senate, they want us to come to the dance. Well, we're not dancing. We're not dancing this session. We're not dancing next session. We're not dancing next summer. We're not dancing. And if you want to blow up the process because you think you have some right that doesn't exist, have at it, unquote. That's all his. Good morning, Angie.
People have voted for these legislators. I guess the people should just write them a letter and say, get back to work.
There you go. And that's the argument that I have here. I don't have... I guess if I'm going to side with one of the two sides, I think I side more with the House of Representatives on this case. Because I really think I see their point, and I really think that in the long run, now I know $2 billion will trickle down to some of the poor people, but I don't think much of it will. I think the poor people will still be poor, and the poor people will still be having poor I think they're trying to scare you with what could happen if they don't have this money. I think that's what I think. Now, they are smarter than me. But from my perspective, just being a radio announcer, that's what it looks like. I would love for some of you to call in and tell me what you think. And so that's my position on that. But at the same time, I'll be the first one to admit that I would like to hear fully, because I don't really hear fully, because I have other things in my life to do. But from what I hear, that's the way I see it. But I do trust them to be smarter than me at this and do the right thing. What I do have an issue with, and this is where I disagree with the House, is they shouldn't have gone home. They should not have gone home. They should have been there. They should have put their heads together. They should have said, okay, we're at an impasse. What can we do to persuade you to see it our way? And the House and the Senate should be doing the same thing. What can we do to persuade you to see it our way? Don't go home. I agree with you on why you went home. I don't agree with you on going home.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
You make a lot of sense.
Let me go to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning. I caught you late in the conversation about what's going on in Tallahassee, but just from a medical perspective, I'm really, as you are, all for what they're doing and not allowing the feds to come in and force the Medicaid expansion to happen in our state. And unfortunately, the left has made it look like it's it's going to be a wonderful thing for all the poor people of Florida. But the reality is it's going to get us in a position as a state where 3 years from now, when the government takes away that money, we're not going to have anything to take care of those folks. We're going to expand a program without an infrastructure to do it. It's a boondoggle. It's actually an illusion, I should say, that the federal government's trying to perpetrate here on our state. So everyone who thinks it's going to be a good thing for the poor is mistaken. We've got to work on just getting good doctors to accept Medicaid as it is and build up the Medicaid program that we have. And there's ways to do that without...
Beautiful. Love what you've said. Yeah, and I thank you. And you're in the medical profession, so you obviously have an edge over me in understanding that. Thank you for the call. Great call.
You're welcome.
All right. I wish he had called earlier. We could have had a longer dialogue with him. All right. We need to take a little break. We'll be right back. It is 8 o'clock. This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. After a much quieter night, the Baltimore Police Commissioner saying the citywide curfew lifted now did work.
10 people were arrested after the curfew went into effect compared to